Round two of the playoffs. Let's start with defending 7A champ Thompson, the lone Region 3 survivor, hosting Mary Montgomery. First quarter, Thompson's Trent Seaborn finds Trey Knight, who comes up with a big gain. Warriors would score on the next play to make it a 14-0 game. Next up, Mary Montgomery's ball, but Thompson's Trent McCorvey with the tackle for a loss. The Thompson defense standing tall. Still in the first, Seaborn drops back. He connected on 14 of his first 15 throws. It's Daria Mosley who goes past two defenders and 56 yards for the catch and run. And then in the second quarter, it's going to be Seaborn again throwing to Uriah Casey on a wheel route. Thompson, Seaborn, 5 touchdown passes in the first half. Thompson led 41-0 at the break and went 54-0. Number 1 Central Phoenix City defeated Fairhope 34-15. So it'll be the Warriors traveling to the Red Devils next Friday to play for a spot in the 7A title game. All right, now let's go to 6A. Number 1 Clay Charfo hosting Gadsden City tonight in round 2. Early on, Cougs jump on top. Quarterback Aaron Fry gives to Joshua Woods. He's in. 7-0 Clay early. First drive of the second half. And this time it's going to be Fry on the ground, fake the pitch, then go right up the middle to make it 14-0 Cougars. And then just a few minutes later, same player, same result. Fry kniving around the left side. 21-0 Clay Charfo at this point, but there was no quit in the Gadsden City Titans. Second and goal from the 4 with under a minute to go. Keelan Smith around the right side as 24-7 Clay Charfo at the break. Second half, Fry under center this time. The play action throw will go to no one. They'll hit Jakari Johnson, and the senior will get to the pylon and come right in your living room to make it 30-7 Cougars. More Clay Charfo in the third. And the give once again to Joshua Woods. He'll scamper 5 yards in for his second touchdown of the night. 37-7 Clay leads. Fourth quarter, the backups are in, and give it to Aaron Robinson, who scores from the yard out. 44-7 the final. The Cougars are moving on to play Homewood in the next round.
I just thought our focus was good this week. We didn't play well last week, and so we challenged our guys with just the mental focus. And so I thought, they had a good week. Yeah, I mean, our, number 1, our offensive line has had a really good year, and then our running back, Josh Woods, man, he's had an outstanding year, and it's hard to defend everything.
Yeah, they have so many playmakers. At Homewood, former Patriot Burt Newton, son of the legendary former Homewood coach Bob Newton, came back to his alma mater with his Hartsville Tigers. Ethan Pennington, with a pass up the middle, sets up the Tigers in the red zone. Then Pennington with a jump pass to Ethan Hayes for the touchdown. It was 7-3 at that point. Now Caleb Carson will keep it in for the touchdown to tie the game up at 10. Carson threw for 200, ran for more than 100 more. Now Pennington completes to Chris Miles. 17-10 Hartsville in the third. Now Carson scrambling on 4th and 10, finds Jackson Chaplow. Carson buying some time and then lofting it up to Jackson, who will get a first down. And then Carson, big night on the ground as well through the air, keeps it again for the touchdown to tie it at 17. And then Carson, long quarterback keeper here as he tucks it under and goes around the left side for the touchdown. Homewood wins 31-24 to get to the quarterfinals and set up that big Homewood Clay Charfo matchup next week. All right, in the other half of the 6A North, defending champ Parker went to third-ranked Muscle Shoals in round 2. Last year, Parker beat the Trojans 35-10 in the quarterfinals. Muscle Shoals with revenge on its mind. And plays like this help. Davian Reynolds making it look easy for the Trojans. But Parker would also find the scoring to be fairly easy. You're not going to get much easier than the touchdown pass right here for the Thundering Herd. But Muscle Shoals would also come back with some huge defensive plays, stripping the ball out, recovering the fumble here to take over. Might not have been pretty, but it was enough. Muscle Shoals took down Parker tonight, 17-14. 6A South bracket, Spain Park at second-ranked Saraland. Spain Park trailed 14-0 after the first quarter, but they owned the second quarter. Brock Bradley chunks it deep, 80 yards to Connor Greb. who will beat the Spartans to the end zone. It's 14-10. And then later, Bradley took a hit on this throw, but throws it up, and there's going to be Greb to grab it. Spain Park goes up 17-14 in the break. After falling behind 24-21, Brock Bradley with the bullet to Andrew Milan, and Spain Park was up 31-28 with 8 minutes to go. But Saraland answered with under 4 minutes to play. Jamison Roberts, 1-yard touchdown, and that's your game winner. Saraland wins it 35-31. Other scores, Pike Road beat Bessemer City 28-6. Hueytown beat Russell County 49-29. Hueytown will go to Benjamin Russell, who won over Theodore 21-14 thanks to a goal line stand. Coming up on the Blitz, we'll jump into the 4A and 5A brackets, including the Moody Blue Devils on another run to the Super 7. Could they motor past Priceville tonight? Okay, terrific. What now? Oh, wow, that's not cool. I don't like that. .5A round two, unbeaten at 6th-ranked Northside hosting 3rd-ranked Viger. The Wolves, great playoff road team traditionally. Demetrius Johnson gets them on the board with a 7-yard TD. And then Viger on 4th down. This was a big play in the game. Sammy Dunn will throw deep to Dylan Jackson. 38 yards, and it's 14-0 Wolves. Northside not out, though. They drove down to the goal line on the next drive. Bennett Green takes the direct snap. It's 14-7. And then just before the half ended, the jet sweep from Jackson Rhodes to receiver Evan Taylor, who takes this one all the way to the house. But Viger wins it 49-28, and they'll play Clay Central in the next round. In the north half of the 5A bracket, Briarwood knocked out Leeds last week, hosting Russellville this week. Lions leading 7-0, and on 3rd and 12, Brand Aho picks off the pass and will return it 55 yards. And that set up Briarwood with a 1st and goal. One play later, Eli Thompson carries it in for the touchdown. 14-0 Briarwood at this point. And then the Lions on the move again. Charles Dedman's 34-yard pass is complete to Sam Canal, who was covered up and made a big play. and that'll set up another Briarwood touchdown. Eli Thompson punches it in to make it a 3-touchdown game. Lions had another chance at another score to end the half, but an interception in the end zone will send us to the break. Briarwood wins it 42-7, and they're off to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2019. And Briarwood will play the winner of second-ranked Moody and Priceville. Priceville with the great motorcycle entrance. But it was Moody who was motoring tonight on the game's opening kickoff. Elijah Rutledge. This is a great way to make a statement on the road. Rutledge fields the booming boot and then just straight up runs by everyone, stunning the home crowd. No one's going to stop him as Moody got on the board first. And then the Moody Blue Devil defense, yeah, they also travel. Henry Smith brings down Sheldon Graham for a big loss as the Blue Devils take back over. And then they took over the game. Josiah Dozier is going to take the reverse and then sprint past the line, pinball his way through the secondary for a long gain. Moody wins 60-14. Moody will host Briarwood next week. 4A round 2 scores. Anniston tops Madison Academy to stay unbeaten, 44-12. Anniston will play Deschler, who topped Hamilton 31-30 in a thriller overtime game. And W.S. Neal eliminates ACA 35-7, the final there. Also in 4A round 2, Alan Scott and the Good Hope Raiders traveling to unbeaten West Morgan. We jump in all tied up at 7. Raiders would have a long way to go, and they'd find ways to get it done. Parker Johnson drops back. The lefty finds Rutherford past the sticks. What a connection. And the seniors fired up about the fresh set of downs. And Good Hope would drive all the way down the field. And despite some early red zone stops, Rebels couldn't keep the Raiders out as Mason Drake takes it up and over. Good Hope went into the break up 7 and knock off the Rebels 31-7 to get to the quarters. And Good Hope will get the winner of Alexandria and Plainview. You want to know where Jeremy Pruitt is? Helping his dad Dale at Plainview. He just got hired as an analyst by Jack State. Todd Ginn's Valley Cubs get behind quickly. Owen Hope, his second touchdown of the first quarter, made it 14-0 Bears. And Alexandria got on the board in the second quarter. J.J. Beeson goes in for the score to make it 14-7. But the Plainview Bears always have hope with this guy at quarterback. Owen Hope takes it in for his third score. Plainview wins 42-7. The Bears go to Good Hope next week. Pleasant Grove hosting number 1 St. Michael Catholic. The Cardinals coached by former NFL star Phillip Rivers. On the opening play or possession, Pleasant Grove's Tim Blue throws a pass downfield, picked off by Brody Jones. Phillip's son Gunner is the quarterback, and he's great. Watch him launch this 50-yard touchdown toss to Tucker Tomlinson, 7-0 St. Michael. Pleasant Grove starts a decent drive here. Running back J.J. Reed is going to pound it up the middle, making some nice moves right there in the hole. And then Pleasant Grove will attempt a trick play, but it didn't fool anyone on St. Michael. Braden Smith picks it off. Here's the trick play we're going to see right there. It's going to be picked off by Braden Smith, who will take it 99 yards for a back-breaking touchdown as St. Michael wins the game 41-7. All right, let's go to the 3A bracket now. Westbrook Christian at 4th-ranked Geraldine. Westbrook on the move, and quarterback Brody Blevins is going to run it around the right side, show off some power as he barrels through the defense to get the Warriors a fresh set of downs. And when it came time to finish the drive, stick with what's worked. It's Blevins again. This time goes to the left, and no one touches him. He goes in for 6. Now the Bulldogs get their chance to respond. John Beck Wade for Geraldine will drop back, let it rip to Eli Schlater, who does the rest. The sophomore and senior connect for 6. And then John Beck Wade with a toss to Cooper Johnson, who's going to show off some track star speed right here, just getting by the secondary for a huge gain, and Geraldine wins it 31-15, the final. Winfield had a tall task. Number 1 Mars Hill Bible. Mars Hill, the defending 3A state champs, on 4th down, They're going to hand it off to Jackson Penn, and he walks in for the score. Mars Hill took an early 7-0 lead. And then Winfield with the ball. Blaine Bowen looking for the deep shot, but the pass is intercepted by DB Hudson Higgins. And Higgins will bring it back to near midfield, and the Mars Hill team would punch it in for a score. It's going to be Penn again in for the touchdown, and Mars Hill wins 42-6. Gordo hosting Culver County, and this one started out fast for the Culver County Indians as Corian Campbell would take the opening kickoff. Another opening kickoff for a touchdown. We saw Moody do it earlier. Here's Culver County doing it, and they go up by a score of 8-0 after the two-point conversion. Gordo would respond on its opening drive. McCain Robertson takes it in for the score. Gordo also goes for two and ties it up at 8. Gordo strikes again. Robertson takes it himself to score. Second rushing touchdown. Green Bay up 14-8 after the missed extra point. Culver County responds, though, the reverse to Keyshawn Jones, but the Indians up 15-14 at the end of the first quarter. But Gordo wins, I should say, 49-29. So Gordo will get the winner of second-ranked Piedmont in 5. And this one, all Bulldogs. Third quarter, Cole Austin rolls right, throws it up for Mason Morrow, who will bring it in at the 6. The super sophomore connection right there. And then 2 plays later, Jackson Howard goes in for a 3-yard run, and Piedmont is up 30-0. And then Austin will throw a frozen rope here to Raleigh Pinto. The Jack State commit hauls it in the back of the end zone as Piedmont gets the 36-0 win. Well, let's go back to 6A. You know, Muscle Shoals took down Parker up 17-14. So up next, it's Caden Hoffbauer and the Mountain Brook Spartans, who go on the road to Fort Payne, and Sparty behind Hoffbauer and all those playmakers on that Mountain Brook offense win 35-14 over Fort Payne to go to the quarterfinals, and they will host Muscle Shoals next week. All right, coming up, we'll check on a couple of battles in Class 2A. 2A round 2, the Vincent Yellow Jackets road trip into Pisgah. Eagles on D to start and get just what they're looking for. Jackson Smalley picks off the pass, gets him in a great spot. So from there, Pisgah would find pay dirt. Cutter Mays directing traffic before zipping this one into Caleb Jenkins for the touchdown. Eagles fired up about the score. They'd go up 8 with the conversion, but they wouldn't be celebrating for long because the Vincent Yellow Jackets, that's a great split, though, by the Eagles mascot. Vincent's quarterback fakes the pass and runs it in himself. I don't know how he got out of that jam, but he did. And then run the same drill not long thereafter as the Yellow Jackets put the sting on. But Pisgah wins at 44-33. Tuscaloosa Academy, a finalist a year ago, hosting Pleasant Valley tonight in round 2. Caden Vick with a quarterback keeper, and he'll run it in for a 7-yard touchdown. Raiders on the board first, 7-0. Then under a minute left in the second quarter on 4th down, Martin Norris for TA looks and finds Hinton Howell deep for a 22-yard touchdown to tie the game at 7. And Tuscaloosa Academy still alive in this year's playoff, win 23-13, but they'll go to Coosa Christian next week. All right, take a look at the college football schedule on ABC. At 11, Notre Dame at Pittsburgh. My good friend Johnny Condon likes the Panthers to upset the Irish there. 2:30, the Sooners and the Tide in T-Town. A lot of Alabama fans concerned about this one. I think Alabama wins. Homecoming day at Alabama. Then at 6:30, Texas at Georgia. Give me the dogs in between the hedges there. And we'll talk about it all tomorrow night on the EOG Wrap. Extensive coverage of that Bama OU game. Johnny Condon covering that one for us. What else happened in the SEC? UAB, North Texas, Jack State, Kennesaw. Huge game in CUSA for first place in the league. We'll talk about it on the EOG Wrap right after Georgia, Texas. But that's all our time for now. Jimmy Kimmel is up next. We'll see you tomorrow on the EOG.